It's 2 a.m. in Nashville. Leah hauls her guitar case up 3 narrow flights of stairs to her apartment. The hallway smells faintly of fried food and spilled beer from her downstairs neighbors. Her fingertips are raw from playing. Her back aches from standing for hours at a smoky dive bar where maybe 12 people were listening, and half of them were too drunk to notice. 3 years of chasing the dream, but it feels like the dream is running faster than she can. She scrolls through her phone while lying in bed. Another singer she knows just landed a streaming spotlight. Another signed with a small label. Her thoughts spiral. Maybe I'm not talented enough. Maybe I'm chasing a fantasy. Maybe it's time to quit. She whispers aloud, "What am I even doing anymore?" The truth is, Leah has talent, but she has no compass. One day she's chasing pop. The next, she's dabbling in country. The next, she's trying to be a producer. Her energy is scattered across a dozen half-hearted pursuits. She's moving constantly, but in circles. The bookstore had been an accident. Leah ducked inside to escape the downpour. The place smelled of paper and dust, old wood shelves crowded with used, forgotten titles. As she wandered, a small, worn book caught her eye. Its spine cracked, the gold lettering nearly faded, reading "Think and Grow Rich" by Napoleon Hill. The shop owner, an older woman with a keen eye, noticed Leah turning it over in her hands. "Take it," she said. "That book changes people who are ready to be changed." That night, Leah curled up on her bed, the hum of traffic outside her window mixing with the faint ring in her ears from her last gig. She opened the book, half expecting more of the same self-help cliches she'd seen online. But then she stumbled on a section that made her sit up straight. Napoleon Hill was describing something he called drifting, the quiet, invisible way people go through life without direction, much like a boat that simply drifts wherever the current leads. He wrote of men and women who keep busy, who chase distractions, who work hard but never choose a clear target. So they end up living lives chosen, for them, by circumstance. Hill wrote, "There is one quality which one must possess to win, and that is definiteness of purpose, the knowledge of what one wants, and a burning desire to possess it." As Leah read the words, her stomach dropped. It was like Hill had reached through time and spoken directly to her. Leah closed the book, pressing her palm against the cover, as if to hold the words inside. She stared at the ceiling, a quiet panic setting in. If she didn't know her purpose, how many more years would slip through her fingers? Would she wake up at an old age, still chasing tips in smoky bars, still waiting for life to hand her what she never claimed? For the first time, she wasn't just frustrated, she was afraid. And in that fear, something unexpected stirred. Hunger. If drifting was the trap, then there had to be a way out, a way to take the wheel. As Leah continued reading, the questions became clear. What if she stopped scattering her energy across random gigs and endless distractions? What if she defined, with clarity, the kind of music she was meant to create and the life she was meant to live? In that moment, Leah makes a promise to herself. She is done drifting. The next morning, Leah wakes before sunrise. She sits at her table, notebook open, pen in hand. Minutes turn into hours as she wrestles with a simple question. What do I want more than anything? Her mind fights her. What if I choose wrong? What if I fail? The doubts beat against her like a kick drum. Part of her wants to close the book and crawl back into bed, to tell herself she'll figure it out later. But another part of her, the part that's tired of drifting, keeps her in the chair. She forces herself to go deeper. She thinks about the songs that made her want to become an artist in the first place. those anthems that gave her goosebumps, that made her feel unstoppable. That's what she wants to create, not background music, not chasing trends, songs that light people up. At last, she writes, "I want to create songs that make people feel unstoppable." For the first time in years, her chest feels lighter. A strange clarity fills her, but clarity doesn't silence resistance overnight. A week later, she gets a text from a bar owner offering her $50 to play covers on a slow Tuesday. She almost says yes. $50 would pay for groceries. But then she remembers Hill's words. Does this move me toward my purpose, or is it just another distraction? Her fingers hover over the phone, and with a shaky breath, she types back, "No, thank you." The following morning, her alarm rings at 6 a.m. She groans, tempted to hit snooze. 1 hour won't matter, she tells herself. But she drags her body up, makes coffee, and opens her notebook. She writes a verse, just one, and by the time the sun rises, she feels a flicker of pride. Proof that discipline builds momentum. She begins to craft new rituals, waking up an hour earlier each morning to study the craft of great songwriters, dissecting their lyrics, their hooks, their structure. A strict 1 verse a day rule, no excuses. Protecting her evenings for her own music instead of scattering them across side gigs or mindless scrolling. It's not glamorous. It's not overnight success. Some days the words come slowly, others they don't come at all. But gradually, something remarkable happens. The chaos of her scattered efforts begins to condense into momentum. Her music evolves, sharper, clearer, more authentic. And then, opportunity appears in subtle ways. A producer notices a song she posts online and sends a message asking to collaborate. A friend shares one of her tracks with an indie artist who requests to record it. Leah realizes these aren't coincidences. By focusing her energy on a definite purpose, she's no longer drifting. The universe isn't handing her luck. She's creating alignment through clarity and persistence. Napoleon Hill taught that success doesn't start with money, luck, or connections. It begins with clarity, a single, burning purpose. Leah's story shows us why. For years, she worked tirelessly, but without direction, scattering energy across gigs, genres, and side projects. The result? Exhaustion, frustration, and the creeping belief that maybe she wasn't cut out for her dream. Once she discovered Hill's principle of definiteness of purpose, everything changed. Her scattered energy became focused, her actions aligned with her intention, and the universe in subtle ways began to respond. Opportunities arrived, collaboration doors opened, and even her creative confidence grew. But how do you take this from story to practice? Here are 3 actionable steps inspired by Hill and Leah's journey. Step 1. Write your purpose clearly. Leah's first breakthrough came when she physically wrote down her purpose: to create songs that make people feel unstoppable. Not 10 things, not even 3, just 1. Boil it down until you can write it in 1 sentence. My purpose is, and fill in the blank. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to cover every aspect of your life. The act of writing cements your intention in a way that thinking or wishing alone cannot. Seeing it daily helps your mind focus on what matters most, acting as a compass for every decision. Step 2. Filter every decision through it. Once Leah had a clear purpose, she began asking herself before every commitment, does this move me toward my purpose, or is it a distraction? Saying no became as important as saying yes. This filtering process is tough at first. Opportunities may look tempting. Friends may question your choices, but it builds discipline and preserves energy for what truly matters. Over time, every choice becomes aligned, and your momentum grows without wasted effort. Step 3. Commit daily energy. Definiteness of purpose is not a one-time realization. It's a daily practice. Leah dedicated one focused hour every morning to songwriting, plus smaller pockets of time throughout her day for refining lyrics, recording demos, and studying her craft. Consistency compounds. Even small steps, repeated daily, accelerate your progress. This daily commitment is what separates someone who drifts from someone who drives. As Hill says, applied faith, the combination of clarity and consistent action, creates results. Leah's transformation shows the power of clarity in motion. She isn't yet famous or rich, but she's no longer lost, and that's the first victory. By stopping the drift, defining a clear purpose, and taking consistent, aligned action, she is building a foundation that can carry her toward any goal she chooses. The lesson is universal. Without purpose, effort is wasted. With purpose, every step counts. Napoleon Hill believed that when you stop drifting and claim your definite purpose, the world begins to rearrange itself to help you. So pause for a moment and ask yourself, what is your definiteness of purpose? Write it down. Filter your decisions. Dedicate focused time each day to it. Because the hidden paradigm is this: if you don't steer the wheel, don't be surprised where the current takes you.